The series? Yeah. I feel like y'all have kids. Like every time we You don't need this.
What's your name again?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. All right, you're pre-calculus, right?
Yeah.
You ready for the test today, baby?
For the most part. Thank you for giving us these.
Yeah, thank
You're welcome. My daughter was like, Dad, why don't you play it? Just right there, supposed to get donuts. Let's see here. All right, Alyssa, we're going to put you here. All right, let's start you off with, let's do long division. And let's go x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x minus, or plus 1 over x minus 6. Okay, we're doing long division. Where's my phone? With the flip.
It's on the desk. Behind you.
Thanks. Probably just hear while they're watching. I'm never going to learn your names, but I'm going to try. Avery. Avery. Katie. I'm really just going through the list of the names I remember getting an email from. Alexa. Kate, Alexa, Avery. Madison.
Yes.
All right, you're all statistics, yes?
Yeah.
All right. So y'all have a test coming up too. I'd like both of y'all and all of y'all to know that the tests are online. They will open up at 12 o'clock today. All right. Alexa, make sure you, well, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. Last week, not Alexa, Avery. I was going to tell you what you're going to look at, but we're going to look at it together. Okay. You guys, let's go here. Let's go let's go multiple choice test. A, B, C, D is our options. Okay? We have 25 questions. What's the probability we get exactly 4 correct? What's the probability we get fewer than 4 correct? What's the probability, find the mean and standard deviation? All right. Anybody need anything? Paper, pencils, calculator? Everybody's good? Hey, any of y'all here when I learned the calculator? That dude that I haven't seen again? Was that his name?
Was it Amelia or was it someone from our class? It was the one kid right there. Bo.
Did he take it and I didn't get it back?
I think so. Actually, no.
But he gave it back because he's the one who told me, hey,
My sister had.
somebody. No, I gave one to somebody in here on a Friday, and then I haven't fucking seen their ass. I mean, I haven't seen their freaking asses, and since the day I gave it to them.
That was a while ago.
No, it was a couple weeks ago. It was
Because
like a
I
month ago.
remember it happening, but I don't remember the person that you had given it to. I remember it was a guy though, and he wasn't in our class.
Yeah, I remember it being a guy.
Do you remember what he looked like? At all? Any features?
You'll find yourself. You'll find that when you start teaching, like I do not notice anything. I noticed in your class that there's a predominantly number of girls more than boys. And that's just because when I look at the list, it seems like there's a bunch of girls' names.
There's like 3 boys in that class.
But other than that, how do I? Oh man, there's a delay I can put on this thing.
On the live stream?
Do you know how handy that would be? Because that's what I need my boy Brantley to do for me last week. Last year, I'm like, Brantley, you got to have a dump button.
Who is Brantley? Like, you talk about him
Is
every
it
week and I have no
Brantley
idea who he
Strauss?
is. Is he like tall
I
and
know-
skinny?
Yes.
With
Yeah,
tan,
he went to-
he's
he
like
went to
tan
middle
with
school.
blue eyes and like darkish brown hair.
Okay, yeah, I mean, now you're getting, I don't know. But he's definitely tall and skinny, and he's going into the Marines or something or other. He's going into the Army.
Okay.
I did not see that boy going to the army.
I didn't either. When he told me he was going to be in basic training, I was like, whoa.
He was always like a techie kind of guy. 'Cause
That's the dude. He's my chief IT officer.
He was
And
like
he
our
did-
DJ at dances and stuff.
He was the DJ. He was like the technical like manager like behind a lot of our plays in middle school.
Dude, the guy is smart as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was a student of mine. And then he came to these little Fridays and Wednesdays and Tuesdays that I was doing. And I was talking about one day, like, you know, man, it'd be nice if I could live stream this. And then he was like, there's nothing to it. He said, we can do that. And I'm like, no, dude, we can't do that. You might be able to do that. But we, you know, the only thing I'm good for is, like, how much is it going to cost? Like, just tell me the cost and I'll pay for it. But other than that, I'm not. And I'm pretty techie, but not when it comes to this kind of stuff. But, yeah, he sent me an Amazon list. It's like, this is what you got to buy. So, bought it. He came in like 30 minutes, had the whole thing running.
Oh. Yeah, he's like. I always remember him as like being someone who was very like nerdy and techie and like could.
And then when I heard he was in basic training, I was like,
I know. I just.
that's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. See, I'm not, I don't know how well tall people do in the military. Like, I feel like y'all are always easy targets, right? Like,
Yeah.
you see anybody? I see a head. He's trying to hide, but he's not hiding.
I know, he's like ugly.
All right, you ready, Alyssa? Let's do this. All right, so long division, here's how it works. You got x minus 6 goes into, can you see it okay? X cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay? X goes into x squared or x cubed, x squared times. So this becomes x squared times x minus 6. This is x cubed minus 6x squared. Now, when I subtract, this becomes minus, this will become a plus. Okay? So this is x squared plus 2x. Now, x goes into x squared, x times. This is x squared minus 6x. When you subtract, this becomes negative, this becomes plus. Eight x plus 1. Okay? X goes into 8x, 8 times. You get 8x minus 48. You'll subtract, this becomes negative, this becomes positive, and you get 49. All right. So then this is plus 49 over x minus 6. Okay. Now, obviously, we could do that using synthetic division as well. We would put a 6 here. We would do 1, negative 5, 2, 1. We drop down to 1. 6 times 1 is 6. 1, 6, 8, 49. This was x cubed, x squared, x, and constant. So this becomes x squared, x, constant, and the remainder.
We can do
Okay?
it either way.
You gotta pay attention to what the question says. If the question says do long division, then you gotta do long division. Now, if you don't do long division, you gotta pray I don't check your work. Because if I check your work and you didn't do long division, -5. All right? People are like, you can't do that. Watch. I got the marker. I do whatever the hell I want. All right? So, if it says do long division, I'm going to tell you, one of them, I mean, I ain't trying to be secretive. One of them says use long division. Okay? So, if it says it, then you better do it. All right? I think it's question 19 if you're wondering. All right? Questions on this? All right? Let's do this. Write a polynomial with minimum degree whose zeros include -6 and 3 plus I. All right. Yeah, I think he was collegiate last year. Or is he collegiate this year? He's not collegiate this year because he ain't here.
He graduated.
He did?
His year organized.
All right. Hey, listen. Can we see this okay? All right. Exactly 4 correct. 25 choose 4. 1/4 to the 4th. 3/4 to the 21st.
Is it okay if we put decimal at 1.5?
Yes. And you all as well. And I didn't really require it much for the first test, but you will be responsible for sending your scratch paper in. Okay, because I want to see how you work the problems out. Okay. Fewer than 4. Fewer than 4 means the probability of 0 plus the probability of 1 plus the probability of 2 plus the probability of 3. So you'll find all 4 of those independently, and then you'll add them together. All right. We'll do mean and standard deviation over here. All right. So probability to get 0 right. Well, that's that you missed them all. That's 3/4 to the 25th. All right. Probability to get 1 right is 25 choose 1. 1/4 to the 1st. 3/4 to the 24th. Probability to get 2 right. 25 choose 2. 1/4 to the 2nd. 3/4 to the 23rd. Probability to get 3 right. 25 choose 3. 1/4 to the 3rd. 3/4 to the 22nd. And then you just add all those together. This is the time you ask questions. Madison, we good? Are you sure?
I don't know what questions to ask.
Oh, I've been there. Like I have a question, but I have no idea what the hell to say it right now. Alexa, you good?
I guess.
That doesn't sound very optimistic. What's wrong? What about it don't you like? I mean, just tell me that.
This whole thing, like, I just have not been able to understand, and I still have, like, 0 idea what's going on.
Okay, so when I write this formula, you have no clue how that formula is coming about or how it exists or where the pieces come from. Is that what I'm hearing?
Like, I get, like, where all the pieces come from, but it's just, like, I never know how to do it until, like, you do it and then explain it.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but, like,
No, it
I
does.
have to watch you do it in order to be able to understand because I'm still, like, super confused.
Okay, so let's just do this. Let's do the mean. The mean is 25 times 1/4. That's the number of correct answers you expect to get, which is 6.25. And the standard deviation is 25 times 1/4 times 3/4. And you take the square root of that.
How is it like 1/4?
Say it again.
How is it like 25 plus 1/4? Like I know it's like 25 questions, but like.
Because you got a 1 in 4 chance of guessing correctly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you make a random guess, 4 answers, one of them's right and 3 of them
Right.
wrong.
Yeah.
So it's 1 in 4. All right. This comes out to be whatever that is. Which is 5 squared to 3 over 4. Root of 3 is 1.6.
I got 2.17.
Yeah, that's about right. As you said, it's 8 and some change over 4, so that'd be 2 point something. So yeah, we're good. All right. Are you pretty good at it or not really?
Yeah.
All right. Are you pretty good with this or not?
I mean, I get it, but I always mess up. Yeah, I think for me, I always have to look at my notes to remember how to do it, but I know I can't do that like next one.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. Let's try not to look at our notes. All right, let's just do this. LeBron makes 78% of free throws. I don't know how many he actually makes, but we'll say he makes 78%. And by saying that, what I mean is on any given chance, he has a 78% chance of making one. Is that fair? So let's shoot 6. All right, let's shoot 6 free throws. What's the probability he makes 5? What's the probability he makes at least 5? Let's find the mean standard deviation. All right. Try to do it. You ready? All right. Is it straight?
It's not limited. Yes.
So here's what you want to do. If the zeros are -6 and 3i, what you want to do is say x equals -6. This is the way I always start it. X equals 3 plus I. And then if 3 plus I is a 0, then x equals 3 minus I is a 0. So I just write those down right away, Avery. Okay? Now, after I write those down as x equals, the next thing I do is get them set equal to 0. I'm going to make them set equal to 0 so that this piece becomes x plus 6 equals 0. This piece becomes x minus 3 minus I is equal to 0. This piece becomes x minus 3 plus I is equal to 0. Does that make sense? Now I do that because if I put these in parentheses, these then become the factors that I'm dealing with. Okay? So that the factors become x plus 6. And I can't see, I mean, it's like right there, but I don't know. I trust it's on video. Okay. Does that make sense? Now, two things you need to get familiar with. A plus B, A minus B is A squared minus B squared. That's number one thing you need to know. A plus B, A minus B, A squared minus B squared. The other thing you need to know is A plus or minus B squared is equal to A squared plus or minus 2AB plus B squared. Okay? You want to know that as well. All right. Now you could FOIL if you have to. You know what I mean? Just brute strength it, just FOIL it out, and that'd be fine too. But what we're going to observe is that this x minus 3 is the same in both. So essentially, this is what? Essentially, this is just k minus I, k plus I, and k is x minus 3. Does that make sense? Just putting this as a placeholder and recognizing that this is nothing more than the difference of two squares. Okay? If ever you want to, you distribute x times x is x squared, x times minus 3 is minus 3x, x times, you see what I'm saying? It's a long-ass distributive property though. All right? And if you can avoid it, I try to avoid it. Okay? So what I do is I just kind of substitute some random letter for x minus 3. And by the way, these two are always the same. All right? Whatever they are, they're always the same. Okay? So that this ultimately looks like what? K plus I, K minus I. Does that make sense? So that this piece becomes what? K squared minus I squared. Does that make sense? Now, this piece will always go away because it's always I squared. And I squared is negative 1. So really this piece is nothing more than x plus 6 times what? K squared plus 1. Does that make sense? Now, if k is x minus 3, then k squared is x minus 3 squared. Does that make sense? And that's where I'm going to use this piece now. And I'm going to say x minus 3 is x squared minus 6x plus 9. And so I'm going to get x plus 6 times x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus 1. Does that make sense? Can you see that okay or no? Oh, that's a lovely look.
Yes.
All right. Now, this is x plus 6, x squared minus 6x plus 10, yes? Now from there, I'm going to say you're home free. You're going to say, no, drier, I ain't home free on nothing. That's just a matter of multiplying it out. Okay? Can I just go ahead and give you the answer? It is x cubed, 6x squared minus 6x squared cancel. 10x, negative 26x plus 60. And that would be equal to obviously to f of x. Or y. Does that make sense?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit like I'd like to see another one, or a little bit like I think I got the idea and I can go on.
No, probably another one. I want to go with justice today.
Oh yeah, it's on there. I know 100% for sure I made it last night. Go me. It's like record early for me. All right, can I erase this or?
You can erase it.
You sure? When you get to the last question and it's really hard, know that I was watching the Bucks game as well, and that was right when they lost. You got it though. We're gonna go those two. I'm just kidding. The last question's not that bad. I don't think.
You don't think?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I got it wrong, but I can do it the next time. Any questions? Are you good?
Okay.
All right. All right. Are they good? Can you take the video?
You're good right there.
All right. All right, exactly 5. We're shooting 6, we got to make 5. So if we make 5, how many are we missing? All right, what's the probability you make it?
78.
So 0.78, yeah? What's the probability you miss it?
22.
All right, so we're going to make 5, we're going to miss 1. But see, here's the problem. If he shoots 6, and he makes 5, do we know which 5 he makes? No, so that's the issue. We don't know which 5 it is. It might be he makes the first 5 and then misses the last one, but it could be that he misses the first one and then makes the last 5. We don't know which 5 is going to be included, and that's why the combination becomes important. This becomes 6, choose 5, because we don't know the order. And then what? 0.78 to the 5th. And then what?
22.
Did you get it or no? You good? Do you feel like it was luck, or you feel like you got the hang of it maybe?
Maybe I got the hang of it.
Always love students.
On this one.
I got this one. Oh, I'll miss the next one. All right. How about at least 5? Now, what does at least 5 mean? 5 or more. Do we agree? All right. 5 or more. So, when you do at least 5, it's 5 or more. So, in this case, it's the probability of 5 or the probability of 6, right? Can't be 7 because you ain't shooting for 6. All right. I'm sorry. I can't see y'all. Yes.
Is this the one that you
Shit,
did
no,
the
it's
one?
okay.
This is when you do the 1 minus.
No. So I do the 1 minus if I say the probability of at least 1. That's the only time I do 1 minus. All right. If it's at least 3, then you got to do 3, 4, 5, however many there are. Okay. So 5 will be 6, choose 5. .78 to the 5th. 0.22 to the first. Now, when we do the probability of 6, I don't put 6 choose 6, 0.78 to the 6, 0.22 to the 0, although you could. You could. If you want to be a creature of habit and do them all the same, you could definitely do that and it would work. Because 6 choose 6 is 1, and anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So therefore, you can get by with 0.78 raised to the 6. Alright? I just put 0.78 raised to the 6. We good? Alright, what's the mean? The mean is n times p, so that's 6 times 0.78. 4.68?
Yes. How do you do that?
What's that? Multiply that?
How do you, no, like, how do you do that in your head? That is so.
You say, I mean, 6 times 0.08 is 0.48. This is 4.2. 4.68. I have a very limited skill set in life, you know what I'm saying? Like, people laugh and I joke that my wife said that after she met me, she said, I'll never do math problems again. I will never do a single calculation. All she does is go like this. Hey, Steve, what's 6 times 0.78? So now we got to do the square root of 6 times 0.78 times 0.22. Yeah? So that's about 0.97.
1.01.
What?
1.01.
No way.
Yeah.
Not bad. I thought it was a little less than 1. Evidently it's a little more than 1. Alright. Any questions on that? I mean, do we feel better? Do we need to do another? If we need to do another, let's just do another, man.
Do one more.
Because I can make these things up all day long.
Yeah.
The ones with fractions you struggle with?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do one with fractions then. Although I would tell you that if you struggle with the fraction, just convert it to a decimal and
Yeah.
problem solved, right? All right. Let's say in a lottery game, the probability of a win is 1 in 5. And when I say the probability that you win, not the probability that you win a grand prize, the probability that you win a free ticket, which is prolongs the fact that you're going to lose later. Okay? Maybe you win $2, whatever. Let's buy 8 tickets. Let's buy 8 tickets. What's the probability you win exactly 2 times?